Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. So yes, I am surrounded by Christmas. I have my Christmas Vibes t-shirt on. I will link this down below. It's from a really cute Etsy shop. Along with my earrings, we are Christmas and festive today for a huge Christmas compilation video. So you may think it's kind of crazy to be putting out some Christmas DIYs this early in the year, but if you didn't know, I actually do this on a Christmas channel here on YouTube called The Cozy Christmas Cottage. I would love to have you come over and join me over there. I will link that down in the description box where you'll find Christmas all year long. But we're kicking off the Christmas season today here on the Daily DIYer channel. So let's dive into these amazing but simple, quick, and inexpensive Christmas DIYs. Dollar Tree has lots of great everyday items that you can Christmas craft with, including these shower curtain rings that break down to only about 10 cents a piece. So a huge bargain. I took these outside and we're gonna spray paint them with a matte black spray paint. And by the time we're done with these, nobody is going to realize that they are shower curtain rings. Once they were completely dry, then we can go ahead and start transforming them. So what I did is I had kept a newspaper article or advertisement that had Christmas carols on it and used that as the background of my ornament, just drawing a circle around so I knew how big to cut out my paper so it would fit right on the back side there, and use some stick glue to attach it. Now we're going to cover up that connection point at the top with a piece of greenery. You can find this at craft stores and even at Walmart in their floral section. I'm also embellishing it with a piece of ribbon and tying a simple bow and using that same ribbon to create a loop to hang on the back so that we can hang our ornament on the Christmas tree. This is another idea how you can very easily dress up these shower curtain rings. I'm using that same floral greenery from Walmart. It has wire in it, so it easily twists around your shower curtain ring so it can stay in place. And then this one, I'm also adding a bow to it, but I'm also putting this on the bottom because this is going to look more like a wreath when we're finished with it. Also added a loop of ribbon to the back for this to hang on the Christmas tree as well. But you could also get really creative with this and use these on Christmas cards or even on the tops of your Christmas gifts. For this one, you'll need one of these Dollar Tree wood boxes with the wood drawers, but we're going to take out the inside and just use that outside piece. You'll also need a larger size popsicle stick and a jingle bell from Dollar Tree. And we need to cut this popsicle stick down to size, so I'm just sitting it on the box, drawing some guide marks, and then using my miter shears to cut that down. Make sure to sand off any rough edges that you have on your popsicle stick so you don't have any splintering going on. Then you can come in with some red chalk paint or even acrylic paint, whatever you have on hand, and paint out the entire box, the inside, the outside, and all of the edges along with that popsicle stick. And now I am going to personally add a vinyl decal to the front of my popsicle stick that says Santa's Bell. If you don't have a vinyl machine, you can also use letter stickers you can find at the craft store, or even use a white paint pen and then draw this on yourself too. I don't have the best handwriting, so I usually revert to those decals. Now it's time to grab out your jingle bells. I'm using the included string that comes with them and taping that into the inside top of the box and cutting off the extra string. And then you'll just hot glue your popsicle stick to the front of the box, and then you have a sweet little table sitter, or this would be so cute in a tiered tray too. Just a cute little decorative piece you can use for Christmas time. For this one, you'll need one of Dollar Tree's bubble vases along with some black and orange paint and a paintbrush, and simply draw on a snowman face. So just 2 eyes, a carrot nose, and some dots for his mouth. And then we're going to take this garden light, which is from the spring section at Dollar Tree, and it has a little on-off switch and some pretty lights on the inside, and we're gonna stick this right on top and turn this into his hat. However, I wasn't a fan of the silver, so I got out my black chalk paint and painted the silver on this light black so it would look more like a top hat. This is a really great shadow box style wood sign from Dollar Tree. I had tons of these because I knew they would be great for turning into different things. And I really was hoping to keep that thankful on the front, as it was also sort of a 3D wooden piece, but unfortunately it just kind of broke apart and I wasn't able to keep it. I needed to probably take a heat gun to it to save it, but unfortunately just didn't work out for me. But I did my best to get the rest off of the back there, and this is a free printable that I created, and I will link it down below. You just hit that link and print it out on your own printer. I used cardstock, so it'd be a little bit thicker and hold up better in this sign since there wasn't a glass front to keep it in there. So I inserted that and then just popped those metal pieces down so it would stay inside this frame, and you have a everyday wood sign turned into a cute Christmas decor piece. Now we're gonna make a cute stocking holder with one of these nesting boxes from Dollar Tree. And what we need to do is get the stickers off the back because we're gonna turn this upside down. So I got those stickers off, used some Goo Gone as it left that residue on the back. And we're going to pair this with a hook, which is inexpensive from a hardware store, or these are from Walmart. And also you could use a cup hook like this that twists in, whichever works for you. Sometimes you can find those cup hooks at Dollar Tree too. I'm just marking where those holes are on the hook and then sort of making a pilot hole with my scissors to make it a little bit easier to screw those screws in and hold the hook in place. This is also from Dollar Tree. It's like a clip sign, and I just put my daughter's picture on there to kind of mark which stocking holder was each family member's. Such a cute and simple way to create a custom and inexpensive way to display your stockings on your mantle or a shelf. Next, I'm going to be sharing 10 free printables with you, and I'll have those all linked down in the description box, so check that out. I printed all of them onto this simple cardstock you can get from Walmart, and I'm going to be using this paper trimmer to help me cut all of them down. You can also use scissors, but this kind of helps everything look a little bit more professional. I'll also definitely be linking all of the supplies I'm using in today's video down in the description box, and also links to other videos that might be helpful. So definitely check out the description box after this video for all of that fun stuff. So here are all of my printables printed out and ready to go. We're gonna start with this one. It comes with 9 on a sheet, and I'm using my paper trimmer to cut each one of those out. Now, of course, you can get creative and use these printables however you'd like. However, I'm going to show you how to make these into very inexpensive ornaments using these miniature popsicle sticks, and I'll try to link some similar ones down in the description box. These are from Hobby Lobby though. They were only $2.99 for 150, so you can get so many ornaments for a very affordable price using this method. I also have a tape runner I got from Walmart, and that is what is going to help me adhere these popsicle sticks to the top and bottom of those printables. And then to hang these, you can attach some simple twine or some ribbon to the back, just in a loop type formation with some hot glue, so you can hang those on your Christmas tree. You can see I made several of these using just different ones of those designs that are included. You can also paint these and use either some brown chalk paint to make them look more like a stained wood, or paint them different colors to give them a pop of color for your Christmas tree, whatever fits your style. Also included are a couple free printables to help you stay organized during the holidays. One is a shopping list and the other one is a wish list. And I've included a line over the wish list so you can write down someone's name, and you can hand them this piece of paper so that way they can write their own wish list, or you can just write your own ideas for someone onto that wish list. And then you can either put these on the refrigerator, or you can put them in an organizer, or keep them in your purse handy when you are out shopping. So you can see these fit right into a standard organizer, just using a hole punch to insert them. I would love to know what is on your wish list this Christmas season. You can leave those down in the comments below. And the next one is our Christmas shopping list. You can again just simply cut these out with your paper trimmer or scissors. You will get 2 per page. And I really love these because you can organize things like your menu and the ingredients that you might need to shop for, some of the items you may need for gift wrapping or even gifts, so you can keep those handy in your purse, or like I'm showing you here, hang them on your refrigerator. Now I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can use this printable. They come in a circle form, and I'm going to be using this scalloped punch. I'll link this down below too. I love to have these handy for just different crafting things like banners and card making. and for making cupcake toppers, which is one of my ideas for you. This one is a 1.5 inch size, and I am just flipping it upside down so I can see my design within that open space, and then you just simply pop those right out. It just turns it from something simple into something a little bit more decorative. And you can also just use scissors for this too if you didn't want to do the punch, and cut the circle provided out and then use them for your crafting. This first idea is just punching a hole into each one of those decorative pieces and then using some baker's twine to insert into that hole so you can use these for your Christmas gifts. You can also use these for your handmade Christmas cards. I'm again using that tape runner to apply some scrapbook paper and some ribbon to the front of a simple white card, and then attaching that centerpiece with a piece of raised mounting tape to give it some dimension. And this is another idea, just cutting some paper straws in half and then attaching those decorative pieces onto the top of that to use on your cupcakes.
To realize that I can see it in your eyes, so it's true. I'm so glad you feel it too. Nothing to hide, falling in love. To me, it's perfectly clear. We're falling in love. It's true, this part of the year.
I'm also including a full page of Christmas gift tags that you can use on your Christmas gifts. And this one you'll definitely want to use scissors for, as they come in all different shapes. You just cut out around those edges and use a hole punch where you see those holes at the top.
Each day we're together all the way, oh, we're falling in love. To me, it's perfectly clear. We're falling in love. It's true, this part of the year has something in store for us. We're falling in love. Hey. Take.
Now we can't forget about Santa Claus, and so I created a printable for you to use on Christmas Eve. It says, "Dear Santa, have a treat," and there's a spot for milk, cookies, and treats for reindeer. And then it says "love" with a blank space at the bottom, so you can insert your name, your kiddo's name, or have them write it in. And I just felt like this printable was a little bit small. I wanted it to be a little bit more hefty. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that I am cutting down and attaching the printable onto the top just to give it a little bit more of a heftier size. Now another thing you can do is laminate this. This is just some inexpensive laminate Duck brand shelf liner you can get from Walmart. I'll link it down below too, to make this reusable.
Something's in store for us, 'cause we're falling in love.
There is also a letter to Santa included, a blank one that is partially filled out that says "Dear Santa" with a love and blank spot at the bottom too. So your kiddos can go ahead and fill out their messages to Santa and wish lists before sending it over to the North Pole. This larger printable is a 8 by 10 size, so we can fit it easily into a picture frame. You just cut along the border of that printable so you know where your sizing is. I'm using a Dollar Tree frame here and some silver lining light gray paint to paint this. I really wanted this to look like more of a frosty winter theme. Now this really is as simple as just cutting your printable out with scissors or that paper trimmer and inserting it into your frame. I also thought it would be really cute to dress up this frame just a little bit more so it looked more wintry. So I had these felt snowflakes from Hobby Lobby on hand and just added some hot glue to the backs of those and added one on a couple of the corners. You'll also be receiving these circles with numbers to create your own advent calendar. I'm going to share with you just one idea, but of course you can use these however you like. I am using my punch again to punch out each one of the numbers, and then also using a chalkboard from Dollar Tree to create my sign. So here's all of those numbers cut out, and you just can keep them in a baggie until you need them each day. And we're going to use that chalkboard and some chalk markers, which I'll also link down below. I wrote days until Christmas at the bottom, added a little embellishment with some colored chalk markers. And then to attach those numbers, we're going to use a simple clothespin that you can also find at Dollar Tree. Hot glued that onto the top, and that you can use to switch those numbers out with. Definitely grab these if you see them at Dollar Tree. They're usually around every day, not just Christmas, but they're kind of a buffalo plaid inspired placemat. And I'm using them to insert into a flea market tray that I found, but maybe you already have a tray on hand that you can use. And it's just really, really easy to insert these into your tray. I just use some adhesive after I cut them down to keep them in place. It makes a really cute way to serve your coffee or hot cocoa or even Santa's treats for Christmas Eve. I love these buffalo plaid beads that I found on Amazon. They're so inexpensive. I'm going to use some Dollar Tree twine to mix those up with some red beads to really give this a Christmassy look. I have my twine in one of these mason jars with a hole on the top. It just makes it a little bit easier when you are stringing things like would-be garlands or even garlands that are for your mantle. This one is going to be more one for your table or a tiered tray, and I'm just using a every other one pattern. I'm putting on a solid color and then the buffalo check to create this beaded garland. So you can see you just make a circle kind of necklace shape and then keep going with a longer straight piece at the bottom. I'm also including a tassel at the end of this that I used my Dollar Tree twine to make. I also have a tutorial on how to make tassels, so I'll link that down below if you'd like to learn how. It's super easy and you can use yarn and all kinds of different things to create them. And this is just a fun piece to use for Christmas. Up next, we're going to paint some buffalo check. I already have a tutorial on how to paint buffalo check using painter's tape. And I'll link that down below too, but I found an even easier way to do it. I found these stencils on Amazon. I'll make sure to link those down below too. And this is a wood plank from Dollar Tree. We're gonna create a tray using this wood plank. I just made sure to sand it down because it comes pretty rough and the edges have some splinters and it's not very smooth. And for stenciling, you definitely need a smooth surface. So once you get that all smoothed out, I'm going to give this a base coat of red chalk paint. Now these stencils come 3 different sizes and there's 2 per set, so that's really nice that you get lots of options. I'm going to be using the smallest size for this since the wood plank is pretty small, but if you have a bigger project, obviously go for the bigger size. And like I said, we're going to paint this out in red first. And now that the red paint is completely dry, we can add in the magic of our buffalo check. I'm lining up that stencil with the left edge, and then we will have to eventually pick this up and move it over to make sure we cover the entire thing. So find a good position and then hold it down before adding your paint on top of that so it doesn't move around. I am actually getting some of that paint off of my paintbrush. You don't want your paint too thick, otherwise it will bleed underneath your stencil. And then you just do an up and down tapping motion to get the paint onto your project. You can do a couple coats if you need to, but definitely more light coats is better than one heavy coat.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for.
And then I love this magic part where you take your stencil off and you're left with that amazing buffalo check that was so easy. I let that dry completely before replacing and lining up my stencil to complete out this project.
Carolers are singing outside our door. Lovely songs we all heard before as they walk from house to house to wish us all a.
There's lots of things you can use this piece of wood for, but I thought it'd be cute to create a tray. So these are some inexpensive handles I picked up at Hobby Lobby and just attach those onto the end to create a really sweet and cute little Christmas piece. You can use it for a coffee table or a side table and decorate it up, or even use it for a coffee bar. This is actually a headphone pouch from Dollar Tree, but I loved the buffalo check on it. It just reminded me of Christmas right away, so I needed to find a purpose for it. For Christmas time, you can see here it just zips open, and inside it even has a little pocket in there. So I thought, how cute would that be to kind of be an alternative to giving money or small gifts or candy. Instead of like an envelope or something traditional. So you can just fold your money up, stick it into that little pouch, even add some treats in there, add a bow or some ribbon to really give this a Christmassy gift look. All right, so I have to stop you right there. I have to thank you so much for still hanging around for this long compilation video. If you are still watching, leave me that Christmas tree emoji down in the comments below, or just leave the word Christmas tree. I want to thank you so much for hanging on. We are only about halfway through and I have so many more ideas for you. So let's continue on with these Christmas DIYs. This is another easy way to turn a Dollar Tree shadow box style wood sign into one for Christmas time. You can see here this one was sort of just an everyday one, and I used some white chalk paint to paint the inside. I did sand it down a little bit too to kind of get some of the paint off first, and once that was dry I used some of Dollar Tree's nautical rope to go around the edges. You can see it was pretty messy. I probably should have taped it off, but this was kind of an easy fix to hot glue that rope right around those edges. This is also a Dollar Tree ornament, really pretty buffalo check one. I didn't do anything to the front of this. I'm just adding some mounting tape that you can also find at Dollar Tree onto the back and adhering that right into the middle of the sign. I like that it gives it more of a raised look, so it looks a little bit more fancy, but it could not be more quick and easy.
On this cold December day, we are on our merry way, riding along, just singing a song.
This is also a Dollar Tree Christmas ornament that I'm applying a vinyl decal onto the front with. Now, you don't have to use a decal for this. You can also use a fabric pin and write your own name on there if you'd like. And I'm just using this for a simple stocking marker or tag.
The work to be done on my Christmas run is the most tired chore. No girl or boy without a toy, so giddy up, Rudolph, my dear. 8 pair of antennas, onwards ever go.
This is also a fun way to dress up one of the wood blanks from Dollar Tree. This is some Mod Podge that I applied to the front of it, and then also a Dollar Tree fleece scarf. So basically just gluing the scarf onto the tree and pressing it down, and then using my scissors to go around the edges to cut the shape out. Again, those edges were a little bit messy, so going around all of the edges with some 4-ply jute. I'll link this down below too. You can find it at Walmart for really inexpensive in their craft section. Just a nice way to add a little bit more of a rustic feel or a farmhouse feel to your decorative pieces, and it's also really inexpensive too.
On this cold December day,
to finish this up, we are going to paint the trunk of the tree brown along with 4 of the tumbling tower game pieces that are wood too. And we're gonna glue these together and sort of sandwich them together so that we make a stand for our Christmas tree and it will sit up.
it's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again. Holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day.
These scarves go a long way when it comes to fabric, and I had lots left over, so I cut a small strip out. We're going to attach that to the middle of this Dollar Tree candle and just tie a knot, hot glue a sprig of greenery on there, and cut it down so that it looks more like a piece of ribbon. The quickest and easy and also most inexpensive way to make a Christmas decorative piece.
But I know this time you're on top of my list. Only wish. And as we decorate the tree, only you and me, I'll be making.
So this is a gift bag slash gift box from Dollar Tree, and I've already seen they have some of the cutest ones ever this year again at Dollar Tree. So lots of different ones to choose from depending on your Christmas design and decor style. What I'm doing is adding some styrofoam into the bottom, and then I have 2 Christmas trees from Dollar Tree that I'm going to stick together. These trees are pretty bare, so if you take 2, it makes it much more full, and you still get 1 Christmas tree out of it. They come with these little plastic pieces on the bottom. We don't need that. We're going to take that off, and we're basically going to make 2 halves of the Christmas tree and stick them together.
I've been waiting for so long for you, but now I got it planned. I know just what to do. 'Cause I'm trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I'm trying to show you, but somehow.
You'll use a few of the branches from the trees to kind of wrap around the center of the tree so they become 1 tree. You can use some hot glue to attach it into your styrofoam so it will sit up nicely, and then add your embellishments to your Christmas tree. I kept mine simple with some buffalo check coordinating ribbon that I found from Hobby Lobby. Dollar Tree has tons of really great wrapping paper, and we're going to use some to create some really inexpensive Christmas trees. I'm just cutting a section out of my wrapping paper and using some stick glue on the right edge there, and we're going to wrap and roll this tree into a cone shape. So you'll take that top left corner, pull it down and twist it until you get the size and the height of a tree that you are looking for, and make sure to glue that edge down well. You can see at the top point right there, you want it, of course, skinnier at the top and larger at the bottom. Once your glue is set up, you can come in with some scissors and cut down the bottom to give it a flat bottom.
Soon there will be sleigh bells and Santa Claus. It's the number one most magical time of the year. Mistletoe,
Now I'm going to show you a really quick way to turn one of these Dollar Tree pillar candles into a snowman. I know we all love snowmen, and even some of us collect them. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. My grandma did too, and I love to see her collection. And this is just a paint pen where I am drawing in a small face at the top and some buttons towards the bottom, and also adding a carrot nose. I'll make sure to link these markers down below too. I use them so much in my crafting, and they work on so many different surfaces. Now this is a bandana, if you can believe that, the Dollar Tree carries, and I decided to use that for the scarf for this snowman. So just tied a simple knot around the candle, and then also trimmed down the longer pieces and added some slits into the end to kind of fray it to make it more look like a scarf. And then here's a little tip or trick. I'm using some of these pop dots from Dollar Tree to help hold down my scarf, as it was kind of all over the place. I didn't want to lay very nicely, so if you add those little adhesive dots in there, you'll get a much better finished result.
Walking around in the snow, we do it in a very...
This is a very quick and inexpensive way to make Christmas garland. I have some red and white baker's twine, which again, I will link down below. I find it on Amazon super cheap. I'm just making a simple loop at one end, and then these are pine cones that you can get from Dollar Tree, the little miniature ones, and I'm literally just tying these right onto that twine to make a garland.
Most magical time of the year.
Now I have mine displayed on my Christmas tree, but you could use these on a mantle or even a tiered tray too, so definitely get creative. If you find these cinnamon sticks at Dollar Tree, grab them. They are the cheapest I have ever seen them anywhere, and they're actually really great quality. So we're gonna make a Christmas tree ribbon ornament with a cinnamon stick for the trunk of our tree, and just tying different types of ribbon around the middle there, and then cutting them off at an angle. Next time you're at Walmart, grab yourself some of these white metal hangers. You get 10 of them for only $1.44, so super affordable. And you're going to need 6 of these hangers to create a Christmas tree. You're also going to need some white duct tape to attach our hangers together. You're going to start with 2 hangers and sort of put the ends at a point, and your hooks will be touching the bottom insides of your hangers, sort of like this in this shape. And then we're going to use our white duct tape to attach the top point and those hooks to the sides. So here is what one will look like when it is done, and you're going to want to repeat this 2 more times so you have 3 sets total. And we're going to now connect these 3 sets together. So you want to set them up like they would look like a Christmas tree and insert the next one in through the middle hole of your first one, and again repeat that for your third one into that center hole, making sure to connect them all at the top so they make that point. To decorate it, I have some garland from Dollar Tree that I'm just going to wrap around this tree using some zip ties to help me hold it all in place. And then at the top, I'm adding a Dollar Tree star ornament.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side.
I am just so impressed with all of the metal pieces that Dollar Tree carries. And so this one, you're gonna wanna grab 3 of their metal trucks, and you'll also want to have on hand some wood beads. These are 1-inch size, and I'll make sure to link them down below. But you can also find these at craft stores too, but Amazon seems to have the best price on them. So I'll definitely link those if I can find the ones that I traditionally use. But let's start with removing the jute from these trucks because we're going to attach them together in a different way. And I also, of course, wanted mine to be red trucks. You can leave them if you want, or paint them a different color if you want. I'm adding a little bit of water to this paint to water it down because I didn't want it to be like real thick or dark. I just really wanted to be able to still see the details of these metal pieces. So if you water it down a little bit, you get more of a transparent look. So go ahead and paint out your truck whatever color you want, and just adding that little bit of color to it really changes the whole look. You can also use a baby wipe to kind of erase or remove some excess paint if you painted over too far. And then this is the excess watered down paint. We're going to add a few of the beads into this to color them. That way we get the natural wood bead color along with the pretty red ones too. Let your beads dry completely before it's finally time to string our banner together. I made a simple knot at the end of a jute length and then added some beads on there, doing red, a natural color, and a red type pattern. And then we're gonna be using knots to kind of keep things in place and from moving around before we add our first truck on here. So you can see I went from the back, or from the front to the back, and then from the back out the front. And what that does is it will put the string behind your truck and you won't see that. And then you can make another knot, add some more beads before adding another truck.
And hang a wreath on your door. It's Christmas, and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight. Just you and me tonight.
There were so many amazing accessories and signs that were red truck themed this fall, but I knew it'd be so easy to transform something like this into winter or into a Christmas sign. So we're gonna start with this one, and I'm just cutting those handles off the back and sanding the front because it had glitter and adhesive on it. So you'll see that raised surface if you just paint over it. Definitely want to sand that first. And then I'm using some dark gray chalk paint to paint around the truck to kind of cover up all of those colors underneath there. Just be real careful as you go around. However, I'm pretty sure I accidentally painted over one of the wheels. So I need to go back and add that in. Not a big deal, but it's something I kind of noticed after the fact. And then after the gray paint was dry, I added some white chalk paint over the top of that. I really wanted a rustic look, and that is such a fun and easy way to get a faux finish. Really simply. So once that was dry, I decided to also make this look more shiplap. So used a ruler and a Sharpie marker to add in horizontal lines. So now let's add a wood frame to this sign. I'm using some paint stir sticks. I'll link those down below too. You can find those inexpensively on Amazon as well. And I'm using my miter shears to cut them down to size. Once I have them all cut down to size, I am sanding off those edges so they're smooth and don't have splinters. And then I'll paint these with a brown paint to make them look more stained. Now once you have your sign framed, you can see around the edges, they were white because our sign has a white edge on it. If you just take your paint and go around the edges there, it will make it blend better and look more cohesive. This is a bottle brush tree from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the bottom plastic piece on this, and we're going to glue this tree into the back of our truck. This one is a fun one. I have a Dollar Tree mason jar and truck from their spring line, and I should have probably taken the sticker off before I glued this truck in, but I just realized it was on there. So got that off of there, and then we're going to add some bath salt to the bottom of this to make it look like it has some snow in there, and a miniature Christmas tree into the back of the truck. And then also on the bottom, I was worried about this guy kind of rolling around. So these are wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a little stand with them and hot glue them onto the mason jar. Now grab yourself out some popsicle sticks. You can get tons of these for $1 at the Dollar Tree. We're gonna hot glue these into a red truck shape, or you can make it any color truck you want, but that's kind of the popular thing that I usually go for. So I've got 2 full-length ones stuck together, and then I'm cutting 2 more down. Those are going to be the sides of our truck and kind of give us a base for where we're gonna put our wheels. And just using some hot glue to put this all together. I also needed a smaller piece at the top to kind of make the cab of our truck. So using my miter shears to add this on there too. You can also use your scrap pieces to make a smaller, tiny piece for the tailgate of our truck. Make sure that's all glued together really well and dried before you paint it. We're going to use some buttons for the wheels, and if you don't have black wheels, which are kind of more traditional wheels, then you can also paint your buttons to make them the right color and then hot glue those onto the bottom. I used a little bit of twine to make a hanger for the back so it could hang on the Christmas tree as an ornament. I think it would be really cute to even add a photo into that little opening there so that you could make it look like someone was driving the truck. That would be a cute little Christmas ornament. And I also have 2 of these miniature trees from Dollar Tree and hot glued those into the back of the truck to make it look more Christmassy. These clothespin wood trucks are also from their fall section, but I thought it'd be cute and an easy way to decorate up a Christmas gift. So instead of pumpkins, I painted the back with green and made it look more like Christmas trees or Christmas wreaths were in the back of this truck. You can add some ribbon to your gift and clip these right onto the middle. This next one is a huge transformation. It says farm fresh pumpkins, but by the time we're done with it, it's gonna be a cute Christmas sign. So we need to do some painting here, and I didn't want to lose all of the red truck, so I'm going over those pumpkins with some gray chalk paint and doing some Christmas tree silhouettes. While that dried, I also sanded down this arrow because it had the beautiful glitter on it that I didn't want. So I also painted out the tailgate of this truck and that arrow because we're going to obviously change this up. Now I'm adding some green paint, a couple different colors so they have some dimension in those Christmas trees, onto the gray paint. These are also free printables that I will put down in the description box below, so you can use them for your own crafting, or if you also have one of these signs and want to recreate it. I have one that says North Pole. We are going to attach that onto the arrow, and the Farm Fresh Christmas trees we are going to attach onto the tailgate. These wooden trucks are so stinky cute. I've used them for so many different projects, and this one is another red truck project. Of course, painting this out red for the most part, making sure to get the inside too because you can see through the truck. You want to get all of those details. I also painted the gate part on the sides with brown. Now, to really make this look Christmas tree, we need to add those Christmas trees into the back of the truck. So again, I have bottle brush trees from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use both of them for this truck, removing the plastic from the bottoms, wrapping them with some red and white twine to kind of make it look like they're being held down in the back of the truck, and hot glued them in just a little bit so they would stay in place, and made a cute little shelf display piece. Here's another metal truck from Dollar Tree that we're going to transform. Again, I wanted this to be a red truck, so I removed that jute handle before coming in with some red acrylic paint. Just being very careful to go around all of those black details. I didn't want to lose those. And then also using a black marker to paint the wheels and the lights. We're gonna add a little wreath onto the tailgate here with that wired greenery, and adding a bow on there too to make a cute little hanger. This would be cute if you made several of these and put them on a farmhouse style Christmas tree, or even added this to the center of a wreath. Dollar Tree made it easy for us to make some cute red truck ornaments. These are fall ones. We're just gonna remove the stuff out of the back of this guy and add in those miniature Christmas trees instead. This is another style wood truck that Dollar Tree carries that's super cute. Of course, I'm painting mine out completely in red. You want to make sure you get the insides and the outsides and all the edges so you don't miss anything. We're going to use this in a wreath. and it's going to be really cute since it's 3D because it'll sit in there and kind of give you that 3D effect. And I also wanted to make a bow, a wreath bow to go on my wreath. So this is ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I never buy ribbon from Hobby Lobby if it's not 50% off. So this roll was only $2. You get really great quality ribbon that has the wire edges for bow making, and it's great prices. So I also have a tutorial on how to make 4 different kinds of Christmas bows. I will make sure to link that tutorial down below, and I go through all of the details and make it really simple for you and kind of break it all down. This one, I just did the same size loops on both sides. I'm cutting down that tail so we can add a separate tail onto the back where we tied it off, and that's going to give us a little bit more control over our loops and where we want our tail and how long we want our tail. I also left the jute long on our bow too, so I can use that to tie it onto the wreath. And then I also used some jute through the wheels of the truck and attached it to the wreath that way. This is a glass votive holder from Dollar Tree, but we're going to use this in a different way. I'm just simply adding a vinyl decal onto the front of this that looks like a snowflake. If you don't have a vinyl machine, you can draw this on with a paint pen, or you can find a sticker at a craft store and use that instead. I'm just applying that with some transfer tape. And we're going to add a little bit of that red and white baker's twine to the bottom to dress it up. And instead of adding a votive candle into this, like its main purpose was for, we're going to add my favorite candies to the inside, York peppermint patties. I would love to know what your favorite candy is down in the comments below. I have such a sweet tooth, so I actually really love all kinds of different candies. I was super excited to find these buffalo check trays at Dollar Tree. I've seen the gold and silver ones, but I've never seen the buffalo check. I decided to turn this into a Santa Stop Here sign. It was easy to apply this decal to the front of it because the center line kind of helped me line it all up. Again, you can do this with a pen and marker and kind of create your own design, or do a printable and Mod Podge it on the front to get the same effect too. This was so fun and so simple, and I loved it even more when I had this little display set up by my fireplace with my favorite candle, which is Winter from Bath & Body Works. It just gave this such a cozy vibe. You can also find these wood ovals at Dollar Tree all year long. We're going to turn this into a Santa's workshop sign that I want to hang on my office door. I think it would be so cute at Christmas time. And I'm just painting this with some white chalk paint. And I don't know why, but I always think of gold gilded things at Santa's workshop. So I thought I would add some metallic gold around the edges of this sign too to really dress it up. And then, of course, adding a Santa's Workshop label to the front of this with some red vinyl. I will link my favorite vinyl down in the description box below, along with my favorite transfer tape. So check that out after this video. And then to really dress it up, I found this ribbon at Hobby Lobby again. It's my favorite place to get ribbon. It has a little bit of that gold detail into it, so it really helped to tie the look of this sign together. If I had the room, I definitely would probably buy every single unfinished wood piece that Dollar Tree carries, but I don't, unfortunately. But I couldn't help myself. I grabbed these cute wooden Christmas trees. We're gonna make a really simple banner. And to do that, we're gonna paint these out white first, and then add letters to the fronts of these to spell out Noel. Now, these are vinyl decals that I created and cut out of vinyl, but you can also use the poster stickers that Dollar Tree carries, or sometimes they have letter stickers you can use, or you can even just draw them on with a marker and make these say whatever you want. I ended up doing 4 for the letters and 2 extra ones just to kind of make my banner a little bit longer. And to create this banner, I am using some velvet ribbon, again from from Hobby Lobby, my favorite place, tying some bows onto some nails that I already have in my mantle that stay there all year long so I can change out my banners on the fireplace. and you don't hardly see them. So I like to kind of build my banners like this on the fireplace so I can center them a little bit easier. So I just put some ribbon through those holes and I'm tying them on separately onto that longer piece that I attached to the nails. I couldn't help it. As soon as I saw these triangle shadow box style wood signs at Dollar Tree, I instantly thought Christmas tree. So that's exactly what we're gonna do with this one. I am taping off those edges so I can get a nice crisp line around, and I can paint out the middle white. Now, of course, you can do these in any color that you want, but I did mine white just to have a real simple and basic kind of minimalist look to it. So once the paint was dry, I removed that painter's tape off of the edges, and I'm adding a triangle shape decal onto the middle of this. Of course, again, you can kind of go about this however you want, creating a printable and Mod Podging it in, or you can find this design in the Cricut design space, which is where I find the majority of my decals. This is also a wood block from Dollar Tree, and I don't know why, but instantly I thought it needed a tree trunk. So I just attached that onto the bottom of this sign, and I got that more elevated look and the tree trunk kind of look I was going for. So cute. This is another decal I'm applying to a Dollar Tree chalkboard to create a countdown or advent calendar. I found that in the Cricut design space, but you can again use a chalk marker and create your own design, just making a circle in the middle so you have a spot to count down your days. I also thought it needed some color, so this is a little holly leaf from Hobby Lobby and also some of their ribbon, and adding that to the bottom there just to give it a little bit of color and an embellishment. And it's just that simple to kind of create a custom one-of-a-kind countdown calendar to Christmas. I would love for you to hit that thumbs up button if you made it to the end of this very long video, and also give yourself a little pat on the back. I know it was chock full of lots of holiday Christmas inspiration, and I hope you found some projects in this video that you love and want to recreate. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I'll have more Christmas videos popping up on your screen you can check out next, and I will see you in the next one. Happy holidays!